Hey YouTube, welcome back to the channel. I'm Steve. Today is Sunday, January 28th, and busy. It's been a busy week, and I just realized 3 days ago was actually my 2-year anniversary making videos on YouTube. So what I wanted to do was A, I want to share a couple cards. I do want to show cards in this video, and then B, I'd like to just maybe talk about some of my goals for next year as we progress into 2024. But before I do that, I just want to say thank you to everybody who watches the channel, and for everybody out there who comments and has reached out to me. This community is a wonderful thing. So if you're thinking about making videos and you're holding back for any reason, don't, because the community is such a great place. The support you get, I mean, for me, right, like a lot of people, I love this hobby. None of my friends collect cards outside of this community, and now all of a sudden I've got this community full of new friends. So thank you. I want to talk a little bit about some goals for next year. I think from a collecting perspective, I sat down at the end of the year and I made a list of about 100 to 110 cards I'd like to add to the collection. A lot of them are big boy cards, so I may never get them all. But the reason I did it was to help focus my collecting a little bit more. I tend to be shoot from the hip, see a card, buy it, and part of that I like, but part of it also I know stops me from getting to some of the bigger cards I want. I was watching a video that Darren, Return to Collecting, put out and on his goals, and he kind of mentioned the same thing. He mentioned that when he looked back at how much money he'd spent last year, the amount of cards that were unplanned purchases were a lot more than he thought. And although he was happy with the purchases, he also knew that if he was maybe a little more disciplined in it, he probably could have picked up some of those bigger cards faster. So, and I'm in the same boat. So that's one of the things I'd like to do. No guarantees though, you guys know how I am. So the other thing, as you know, there's a lot of cards I still want to get graded. I probably have 200 cards that I want to turn into SGC. They're in the 4, 5, and 6 range, but for me, it's important to get them graded. A lot of them are childhood cards. So my goal is to probably have 10 to 12 submissions this year, 7 to 10 cards. So I think we're targeting maybe 80 to 100 cards to get them in. That'll take up a bit of the budget, probably be a 2.5 year project to get them all graded. But it's definitely important to me. I would love to attend more shows. I'm thinking more local shows. Unfortunately, I won't make the National this year. So the National, as I've told a lot of people, just coincides with my youngest daughter's birthday. So when it's here in Chicago, it's not an issue. I have no issues making it to for a day or two. But this year she's graduating from college and she's moving away to start a career in Virginia, and we will definitely be out there. So unfortunately I won't make the National, but I know there's a lot of local card shows here in the Chicagoland area that I'd like to figure out, and in Michigan, because I spent a lot of time up there. We have a place up in Michigan that we go to in the summer, so would love to do that. And then finally, I'm looking to sell off or trade some of my duplicates to help either fund the hobby budget or to get some of the cards that are still on my list. The next thing I'd like to talk about are some of my channel goals. I think from a channel goal perspective, I'm hoping to be more consistent with my content. In the first 2 years, I probably put out about 65 videos. I'm hoping to put out 50 videos this year, about one a week. I think that's feasible with my schedule. Most people that are doing content are putting out 1, sometimes 2 videos a week. So it's not, I'm not overly taxing myself, but I want to set a reasonable goal to get some consistent content out there. Definitely want to improve my technological skills. I've got a ways to go on that. I'm never going to be John 3D80s kid or Hammer 44, but I do think I can get better. One of the things I'm struggling with is, like this, I'm recording it on my iPhone. I have some editing software that I utilize through, Apple that's locked into the iPhone. But my home computer is a Lenovo, so they don't really talk well together. So still trying to figure out like how I can incorporate PowerPoint in to my videos. So if anybody has suggestions, I'm open to hear it and would love to hear it. And also, I just want to, SGC returns and pickups are always going to be part of my channel because it's the channels I like to watch. But I do want to incorporate more stories, player profiles, and I would love to do some more collaborative videos with other channels out there, whether it's on on their channel, on my channel. So those are some channel goals for this year. And then for me, there's some community goals. So one is, I just want to meet more community members via email, really texting and even calling and talking live. I see a lot of people. I know there's a lot of groups out there, and I would love to start to incorporate that into my collecting so that I can make more friendships. And it's not easy for me. It's a hard thing for me to do. But I'm definitely open to doing it. I would love to, I will make sure my email address gets put on the site here. I don't check email, my home email, a ton because I get so many work emails on a regular basis, but I definitely want to start making some connections with people and texting, sharing cards, sharing thoughts. To me, that's important. I'd like to participate in more collaborative videos. And once again, I don't care what format it is or whose channel it is. I just need to get out there, maybe, and it would be fun to do that. I would love to, like I talked about, going to more card shows. I know there's a lot of Chicagoland collectors here. I would love to at some point maybe meet up at a show or card shops, in our respective areas. I think that would be a lot of fun. Same with Michigan. I spent a lot of time in Western Michigan. John from John P. Collects and he's about an hour away from our place in Western Michigan. We've talked about, this spring or summer getting out there and going to some card shops together, look for cards and talk the hobby. So love to do some of that. And then finally, I want to continue to reply promptly to anybody who watches any of my videos, and also to any fellow content creators. Continue to watch their videos. I think it's important to support one another. I have over 100 channels I watch on a fairly regular basis, and it takes up time, but it's a lot of fun, and so I plan to continue to do that and to support people. So anyway, those are my goals for this year, for 2024. I appreciate you guys letting me share those with you. And now let's actually get to the fun part. Let's look at some actual cards. So I'm going to flip this camera and I will share my January pickups with you. Okay, so now let's get to the fun part. Let's look at some baseball cards. I told you just earlier that I'm trying to be a little more disciplined. So in January, I only picked up 2 cards, but the 2 cards were on the list of the 110 cards I wanted. So the first card I picked up is this 1962 Henry Aaron. I love this card. I think it's a pretty good version, fairly well centered, little off left to right. There's a little bit of nicking and dinging. I think when I get this graded, we're probably looking in the 3 to 4 range. I'll share with you, I paid $75 for this on auction. I'll grade it. I'll be into it for about $90. I think if it comes back in the 3 to 4 range, it'll be just pretty much break even, from a value perspective. But for me, it's Aaron. I collect Aaron. The other thing I've been doing, a little side thing I've been doing, I was born in 1960. I think I've told you Aaron, Clemente, and Mays sort of are the 3 big guys that I remember, as a kid growing up. And what I'd like to do from 60 till I think it's 73 when Clemente's last card is in. I would love to have one card of each of these guys. And this is the Aaron version. I already have a Clemente and a Mays graded. So once I get this graded, I will have checked the box on 62. So anyway, I picked up this Henry Aaron. Pretty happy with that card. I think it's a beauty. So the next card I picked up, and this is one I've been looking for a while. It is the 1961 Juan Marichal rookie card, and I got this in an SGC 5. I think this is a really good-looking card. You know, the picture's pretty crisp. The centering's pretty sharp on this card. I've been wanting, Marichal was a dominant pitcher in the 60s, early 70s. I mean, he had the most wins of any pitcher in the 60s, the decade. So, I looked for this at the National last year, and I just didn't find one that I wanted. I did find one towards the end, but I'd already spent my budget, so I didn't buy it. I bought this one for about $179 on auction. When you look at cost in VCR, that's the high end. I mean, this thing's probably recently been selling in the 150 to 170 range, but I thought this was a beautiful copy of it, and I didn't mind paying up a little bit for it. So anyway, there you have it. Those are the cards I've picked up. 2 cards on that list of 110. Coming up here in the next week or so, I should have a VR out for my friend John over at John P. Collects. And my birthday and Christmas bonanza, a lot of those cards, by the way, were on that list of 110, should be coming back from SGC. They've had it for a while. I expect that they will get them graded and sent out to me here this next week. So I should have a reveal to help you with. And then I'm working on putting together my next SGC submission. So I appreciate you guys taking the time to let me talk about my goals, to let me share a couple of my cards. Hope everybody's doing well. Until we talk again, stay safe, keep collecting. We'll talk soon. Take care.